back in the United States as well. USA Today headline, New World Pope faces New World. The Boston Herald, let us begin this journey. Newsday says, well, first of all, a huge shot of him waving, and the headline simply, Pope Francis. He also graces the new cover of Time magazine. I want to bring in Robert Moynihan, who is editor-in-chief of Inside the Vatican magazine. He has already been selected as a biographer, and he will probably have the first book out on the Pope very soon. And Monsignor Vincke, the spiritual director of the Pontifical North American College. Thanks to both of you for coming in. There are a lot of stories coming out already. One of them is that when the cardinals came to pay their respect, he did not sit on the throne. We know he's a simple man. He prefers to take the bus. He prefers to cook his own meals. What else should we know about him?
Well, there's two more things that I just found out actually this morning. The Pope snuck out of the Vatican this morning for his first visit.
You can sneak out?
He wasn't entirely sneaking out, but it was very, very low key. And he went to one of the most beautiful churches in Rome, a very important church, St. Mary Major, the largest and most important church in the world dedicated to the mother of Jesus, Mary. This shows his Marian devotion. And in that church is one of the most important images of Mary and the child Jesus, Madonna and Child, which tradition holds was painted by St. Luke. So it's believed, it may not be true, but it's believed to be one of the most ancient icons, and it's considered the protectress of the Roman people. It's what it's called, Salus Populi Romani. He prayed in front of that icon this morning.
Very humble guy.
Very humble, and this Marian devotion is very important to a lot of Catholic believers who are wondering what kind of spirituality this man has. The second thing he did, in that same church is a tomb of a very important pope, Pope Pius V. Pius V designed and wrote 400 years ago the old Mass that the more traditional Catholics still appreciate and like. He prayed in front of that tomb. Now we know that he's a very, very spiritual man. He cooks his own meals, he takes the bus. People were saying, however, all around the city, that he didn't have as much of a liturgical sensibility as Pope Benedict, who was writing books about the liturgy, etc. And this gesture this morning, praying in front of this tomb, reassures them.
Monsignor, you have an interesting perspective because you're with a lot of young Americans who have decided to study for the priesthood. And there was a real problem with getting vocations, particularly around the time when the pedophile priest scandal broke. Doing better, still need to do more. I'm wondering what you're hearing around the North American College here in Rome and what you think he can bring to what is a very big need for priests in America.
Yeah, that's a great question. I know that everybody's excited about Pope Francis at the North American College. And as long as he is a Pope of joy, and as long as he keeps promoting the priesthood, I think we're going to be fine. We're packed actually at the North American College right now, so it's a really good sign. Your first question, I just want to add something about that too. This morning I had a breakfast with a cardinal, and he was telling me he's met this Pope Francis 20 times, and he said when he drove with him, most people want to show you the monuments and other important buildings. He was showing this cardinal where the poor are in the city.
Of Rome?
Yeah, everywhere. In Rome and in Argentina as well.
Wow, amazing.
So, yeah, he's really a humble man. You see what you get.
You know, we know why Pope Benedict Emeritus now decided to step down. He said he just didn't have the vitality anymore to do it. This is a man who is 76, 4 years older than the average age of the cardinals. And so I was talking to Cardinal Dolan this morning, and I said, is he up to it? And here's what he told me. The average age of the cardinals is 72. You feel he's up to it.
Oh, I do feel he's up to it. By the way, you're right. I feel like a kid in the College of Cardinals. It's the only place where they call me Sonny. You know, here I'm 63, but I'm one of the youngest people in the room. He's up to it. His health is good. He's a vigorous man. His brother bishops in Argentina say that he's indefatigable. So he's up to it. And, you know, there's different kinds of energy, isn't there? There's kind of a bouncy energy. At 76, you wouldn't expect a man to have that. But there's an interior energy, isn't there, that the Bible speaks about in the Psalms. He's got that in abundance.
In the way that they presented themselves to the world, and you knew Pope Benedict,
yes.
Very different than Pope John Paul II. What are we going to see in Pope Francis?
I think that what we have is a holy man who, remember, he's a Jesuit, the Society of Jesus formed by Ignatius of Loyola, who, by the way, celebrated his first Mass in St. Mary Major 400 years ago. So it was a gesture also to the founder of the Jesuits. Jesuits are sort of the Marine Corps of the Catholic Church. They train for years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years. This is formation of their mind, of their outlook. When you have a this is the first Jesuit ever as a pope. They chose a man who has a profound formation. He's going to bring that forward, but his love of the poor means that he really takes seriously the gospel message, blessed are the poor. He really is going to implement the Beatitudes. He's a coherent man. He doesn't fake it. He took the bus. So I was actually astonished that out of all the speculation of whom they might choose, they brought forward this man, Francis. Now, that's another thing. St. Francis of Assisi was called the little poor man. To choose the name Francis reaches out to the Franciscan spirituality. And Pope Benedict also was a very simple man. He didn't put on any airs. He took off the tiara from the coat of arms. So the church is trying to downplay a little bit the pomp and circumstance and come back to the people. That's what's happening here.
Were you as surprised as the rest of us, Monsignor?
I was shocked. I was shocked about Pope Benedict retiring, and I was shocked that Pope Francis became a pope, but really happy. As soon as he walked out on the stage, out on the balcony last night, and just how humble he was, simple, his message, very beautiful.
Monsignor Vincke from the North American College and Robert Moynihan, we will be looking for your book when?
I've got 13 days to go.
13 days, and you've got to get it written. Well, good luck to you, and thank you both for coming here. Today's tweet of the day comes from BBC World America.